My name is Samantha Battleson, and today I'm going to be talking about the impact of school librarians and how librarians impact you. So if I zoom into the Dickinson High School impact, which is the campus that I'm located on, currently our student population is made up of 48.3% Hispanic, 27.3% white, 18% African American, 2% Asian, 2% two or more races, and then 57% of our students are economically disadvantaged. Here at Dickinson High School, we serve 2,939 students. So what does this mean for our library and our student achievement? The academic record of students who live in poverty, which is 57% of our population, is not good. In the United States, if you are poor, your odds of graduating are lower than those of a middle-income student. If you are also Hispanic or Black, like 48.8% of our students or 18% of our students, your odds just dropped again. So what can the librarians do to help mitigate this, and what research has been provided to prove that librarians are capable of mitigating this? So just simply providing interesting books for children is the most powerful incentive for reading. There's research showing that extrinsic incentives, so those AR competitions or candy or the school bucks, are not effective. The students have to be interested in the books to read them. So on our campus, what have we done to make an impact to help our low-income students overcome those gaps? So on our campus, this past year, we have circulated 23,665 books. That's 8 books per student. Our database searches are at 91,237, which is 31 database searches per student. So those searches turning up something that students actually want to retrieve or look at have numbered at 67,481, which is 22 per student. We've taught 300 lessons on research in the library, and our fiction collection, the average age is 2010, which means we have a very current collection. So, how do librarians close those gaps? What is the research that supports that librarians are able to close the gaps that our students have because they are low income? So several library impact studies suggest that test scores tend to be higher where administrators, teachers, and librarians think of the school librarian as a school leader. So with a strong library program, it has been proven that test scores are higher with a librarian. But that librarian cannot be passive. They must act as a teacher or co-teacher, have professional development opportunities, help design curriculum, work as an instructional resource manager, be a reading motivator, be a technology teacher, troubleshooter, and provide instructional support. If you look at our library program here at Dickinson High School, just those research lessons, 300 of them taught, that is showing our librarian as an active member of the school, an active co-teacher, an active source of instructional support. Through that, the librarian is also able to work with our teachers to help them design research curriculum and obviously direct the students towards instructional resources. For reading motivation on this campus, we have many different initiatives that we do that I'm not going to go through right now just because of time. But the top thing that we do on this campus that does motivate our students to read is we give them time. We let them have self-selected books, and we allow them 15 minutes every single day of the school year to read. Okay, so another way that librarians close gaps, in the research study done in Pennsylvania, it was found that test scores improved by 10 to 15 percentage points when a librarian was present on campus. They took into account socioeconomic status, they took into account race, all of those things, and even removing those factors from the equation, adjusting for those factors, it was still found that a librarian helps raise test scores by 10 to 15 percentage points. That's a big deal. And unfortunately, we live in a time where test scores do matter. So another place where a librarian is essential and can have an impact on students is with our informational overload that we have right now. Information is doubling at an exponential rate, faster than it ever has in the past, and librarians are the ones to help students navigate this information. So through collaboration with teachers, the librarian is able to introduce students to ebooks, which is a safe way for them to access digital information, direct them to databases that have vetted information, teach them how to do searches that are going to turn up reputable sources. Also ways to narrow their search so that instead of getting 6,000 results, they get 5. Also teaching students how to phrase their queries so that they are getting relevant information. There's so much that a librarian is able to offer, so much that they are able to teach to help students navigate the information that's out there. The different medias that a librarian works with, it's not all online. It's not all print books. It's not, our librarian on campus facilitates interviews with authors, interviews with important political figures in our community. There are so many different sources of information, and the librarian is a great place to start to work through those. So integrating information literacy. So how does a librarian help make an impact there? By teaching cooperatively with teachers. Teaching information literacy independently, which is what I spoke about on the previous slide. Providing that in-service training to teachers. Many of our teachers do not have the time to go to professional developments that teach you how to do these things, and they are just flying by the seat of their pants and doing what they've always done. Librarians should also be serving on our standards committees, on our curriculum committees, and managing information technology. So all of this came from that study in Pennsylvania that I was talking about. Okay, so librarians impacting technology incorporation on our campus. The number one source for technology is the library. They have the Chrome carts available. She has set us up with ring lights for students to make their own webcasts. We do Skype sessions with authors through the library. They are one of our most technology-rich spaces. And the librarian is the expert in the information technology integration. And our librarian is a leader when it comes to technology integration. So this is something that our 21st century students need, because they are not going to go out in the work world and read a book to get the information. They are going to Google it. They are going to have to write electronic reports and submit them to their bosses. They're going to have to write emails. They're going to need to be able to navigate a desktop computer. And most of our students know how to use their cell phones, but a desktop computer is beyond them. So that is a place where the librarian can come in and actually have the resources available for the students to learn how to do this. Because in my classroom, I have 2 computers. One of them doesn't work, and the other one needs to be retired. It's super slow. So the library is our best source for the technology so that our students are able to use it and get used to it. And one of the largest pieces for them to learn how to do that is the opportunity and the access to those materials. So how do librarians impact learning? So I think it's American College of something libraries, research libraries, put together a report where they looked at over 200 research projects done about librarians impacting learning. And when they looked at those research projects, it was supported that librarians help I'll just read this off. Increased academic success when students use the library. Academic library partnerships with other campus units such as the Writing Center, Academic Enrichment, and Speech Lab yield positive benefits for students. Those positive benefits were things like higher grades, academic confidence, retention. The library instruction also improves students' achievement of institutional core competencies and general education outcomes. The project findings demonstrate different ways that information literacy contributes to inquiry-based and problem-solving learning, including effective identification and use of information, critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and civic engagement. One-on-one or small group reference and research assistance with a librarian enhances academic success as documented by such factors as student confidence, GPAs, and improved achievement on course assignments. This was not just one research study, it was over 200 studies supported this. I cannot see how we could justify not having a competent, trained librarian on campus when you can see all of the impacts that librarians have. At the end of the day, librarians impact you. They have impacted your learning. Even if you have not seen it directly, they have worked with a teacher that you have had. Or maybe you have seen it directly. You have gone to the library and asked for their assistance. Librarians do impact learning. Here are my references. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.